Hello, everyone, and welcome to the I Have Comic Issues YouTube channel and to this week's episode of Comic Channel Origins. And today's guest is the Uncanny Derek. So let me bring Derek in real quick. And let me find out. There we go. Here we are. Hello, Derek. How are you today?
I'm swell, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and I'm happy to have you here. I'm down in Florida. It's a little cold here today and tomorrow, but I'm sure it's not quite as cold as it is up there in Canada where you are.
We just started getting snow again. I can't convert to Fahrenheit, so it is currently going. It's going to be -5 tonight without the wind chill. So you guys
I
are
think there's
watching
like
this.
I think there's a 30, 32 number difference between. Well, your zero is our 32, so
It's not
they're not
entirely
exact,
like
but
that. But it's something like that. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. We're
it's
cold.
close.
It's not
It's
too freezing.
cold. It's
Yeah.
cold. Like you're gonna get snow. We don't really get snow that often here in Florida.
It's been probably one of the this year, like the past in February specifically, it was hands down the coldest winter I can remember, where we had, I think, nearly 30 days of negative weather and negative wind chill. And it was so cold it wasn't able to snow. Like we had a lot of snow, everything froze over, and then it
Right.
was just freezing temperatures for nearly a month. It was Canada.
But y'all are prepared for that most of the time, correct?
Yeah. Like it doesn't destroy infrastructure or anything like that. Like one thing I know we do here in Canada is, and I'm sure the southern or lower states below Canada, I should say. I don't want to say southern states, but I mean the northern states.
Right.
Like we bury our infrastructure lower or deeper into the ground. So I know like pipes are 6 feet underground.
Okay.
So like there's no worry about water freezing or anything like that. Like we're not too concerned about that. As an example.
Okay.
Yeah. Snow
Well,
shovels abound.
here in Florida, if it snows a quarter of an inch, everything shuts down.
Yeah, no, it has to be a significant snowfall for anything to shut down anything here. So
Okay.
we're good. Snow's the norm.
All right. Well, let's get into these questions that I got for you. I do have a little caveat that I'm going to add on to this very first question. It is something interesting that I found out about your history today, and the fact that before you had a YouTube channel, you had a blog that was about comic books and other stuff. So, what inspired you to start that? And then what inspired you to go from that to YouTube?
So yeah, that's a going back. I think it's 2010 probably is when I started the blog, and so it's uncannyderek.com. It's still live, but it's predominantly about music now, where I share my music taste. But all the old, not everything. I did do a huge purge of stuff years ago, but it used to be me wanting to talk about comic books as I do now on my channel. And I went to school for English and professional writing. I wanted to be a journalist and all that. And so what I would do back in the day, and they're not up anymore really, is I used to do comic book reviews. And I
Okay.
would review weekly titles, and I would review. I tried to get in touch with the other writers, and just like, hey, just so you know, I reviewed your issue that came out, and blah blah blah. I just made a little hub to chat comic books with people. And so I've always had this knack to want to share my interest of comic books with everybody. And the website ran for quite a few years, where I would constantly reach out to other writers and just be like, hey, here's what I wrote about you, or I do essays. And so I would write my biggest essay on there, which, as I mentioned to you, it got referenced in a PhD paper, is about Greg Land.
Okay.
And so I'm not a fan of Greg Land and his artwork. And my website actually was linked by cracked.com back in the day. And it was one of those things that like I got suddenly like 50,000 views in one day because Cracked linked my site. And it was all
Okay.
about become Greg Land. And I've had a lot of essays on there too. And so just my general thoughts about comic books. And I always just love philosophicking. That's not a word, but talking about comic books in various different ways. And so the website was my creative out for that. Um, shortly after, like maybe 2012, 2013, I had to get out of comic books. I just life was too busy, And I actually donated a bunch of my comic books. Like I'm saying, like maybe 4 or 5 long boxes of major runs of books. And like, in hindsight, I wouldn't have thought Venom Lethal Protector #1 would have been an expensive book. Moon Knight #1. Like I had all these books that are like, I bought these at the dollar store like 5 years earlier. Like why would they be worth anything? Like,
Right.
so I got out of comic books. And then over just before COVID, I just had this knack to get back to it. I stopped reading comic books entirely. I was a big Marvel fan, big X-Men fan, and really the editorial job that they did with Avengers versus X-Men into their fear itself, and it was so bad, and it was turning me off so hard on everything comic book wise. I had to step away. So I stepped away from the blog, stepped away from buying books, and stopped altogether. So like 2019, 2020, I decided to start collecting comic books again and start reinventing myself into the hobby. But then I had my first child.
Okay.
And that was in 2023, right? No, yes, 23. And about maybe almost a year after they were born, I just like, I don't know if you have kids or not, but you get a little like, you go stir crazy. You're
Right.
in home all the time. You want to be able to talk about and get out and do things, and I couldn't do that. So I'm like, I'm going to start a comic book blog. And I had seen, like, I still follow comic book YouTubers, and some of them were sharing opinions that I didn't necessarily agree with. And I'd instead of like writing comments, I just would scream at my phone or at my TV instead. I'm like, no, why am I not just talking about these opinions myself? Like I have a different take than this guy who has like 5,000 viewers or subscribers. Like I should do this myself. And
Right.
so I decided to just dive in and do the YouTube thing to get my creative outlet out, to talk comic books, and to see if anybody would bite. And, I'm just over 2 years now at it, and it seems to be going okay.
Very cool. And what was your very first video that you did?
So technically there's the welcome video, but realistically it was an unboxing video. It was I actually got a copy of X-Men #8, the first Honest the Untouchable. That was the unboxing for it, as well as a Dave Stevens cover for Airboy #5.
Okay.
And there's something else I got on that book, but it was an unboxing video because that was the first thing I just wanted to get my feet wet, was just getting the recording done, see how it would go, and see who would view it. And so I had like tens of views when it happened, and I don't think I had any comments at all, but it was like, here, this is the first video. Let's just stick the landing and try to be more consistent about it. And
Right.
yeah, my plan was like to have a video out once a week at that point. Actually, I had the video recorded like a month or so before I actually started the channel, just so I could start like rolling with them all heavily right off the bat. But
Right. So your schedule, I mean, I think I saw you got like 80 something videos out there. So you don't post every week. Right.
no,
I mean, I guess with young kids, that's kind of hard to stay on a schedule like that, along with everything else that you have going on, I'm sure.
yeah, it was easy the first year and a bit, because just as a child that's not even 1 year old, they're not really hands on, right? Like they sleep a lot, so you could just record when you had free time.
Right.
Now they're 2.5, and the newest one's almost 5 months tomorrow. So it's a lot of it's a lot more work now.
Oh yeah.
But no, I did, just to get the ball rolling and to see how the algorithm worked. I really just wanted to go boom, boom, boom every week, do a video, and I did that. I think for, I want to say almost 3-4 months. I maybe I did miss a week or so every so often, but I really wanted to make sure I had a video coming out all the time, and just to see how it would stick. And now up until really 2 weeks ago, I really was trying to aim for every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And now I've kind of made an unannounced hiatus. I do have a video in the works that I'll release when it's done, but I'm just trying to take it a little bit easy for the next couple months, just because I kind of, burnout is real. Right. And I did a big essay video last 2 videos ago on my channel that is just about over a half hour long, and I had like 50 hours of work into it. I'm very proud of it. But that really, like, that along with having a newborn and having full-time job and another child and just family stuff, all good things. YouTube channel had to just take a little bit of a breather, and just so I can come back refreshed a little bit. So there's not really a set schedule, but I've also learned that YouTube doesn't really care about a schedule now either. So it's kind of all over the place. So I'm not too concerned about a schedule.
Yeah. I'm the most consistent thing that I have going on my channel is doing this live stream or this interview show every Sunday night.
Yeah.
That's the most consistent thing I got. And then I try to put out one other long form video during the week. So, but that just all depends on what I get recorded.
Yeah. And I think just as long as you're just able to be passionate about it and not just like put a video out because you need to put a video out, like as long as you're still enjoying what you're doing, then like all the power to you. Like, because there's a few videos I have out there that when I go back and look at what I had done, I cringe at it because I know that I just wanted to do that because I think at the time I was like, this is going to impress the algorithm, and like it has tens of views, and it's a crappy video, but it's one of those things where you live and learn, which is all part of the game with this YouTube world.
Oh yeah, the ones that you think are going to do great don't, and the ones that you think won't do.
That's really how it is, and it's unfortunate that there isn't a crystal ball that explains that, because I can get to it later. I've done a lot of A/B testing with my own videos, and there's no consistency to it. Is in a nutshell what it comes down to, which is frustrating, but also somewhat relieving at the same time.
Right. Yeah. So was there any specific moment or video where you felt like your channel kind of took off?
January 10th, 2024.
Okay.
Oh no, it's 2025, last year. 100%. So it's my most watched video. It's at 57,000 views right now. Is the comic book market ruined? And that was the video that I really spent, like, that was the first video I spent like 50 hours on it, and it's a 47-minute long video. And I go over a lot of stuff, inconsistencies with grading and with the auctions houses. And at the time I was, I think, like 400, maybe 500 subscribers. And within the first 24 hours of that video, it hit over 6,000 views or something like that. And then within the 48 hours, it was at 12,000. And then within 72 hours, it was at 20. And it was just like, here it comes. But interestingly enough, views don't entirely equal subscribers.
Right.
And so I didn't get in YouTube, I'm sure you have your watch hours you need to get, and then your subscribers. And so I crushed the watch hours like within the first day, like, because it was a near hour-long video. You have 6,000 people viewing it, like, done.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, if I want to get monetized, I need to get to the 1,000 subscriber amount. I didn't get that till the end of April. So the video came out in January, and I didn't reach over 1,000 subs until April. And I even ran a contest online on my YouTube to try and like entice people to subscribe more, which is not really a good idea. Don't really recommend doing giveaways. But because I was going to get it anyway, I just wanted to do it a little bit quicker.
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand. I've just hit the first milestone marker, the 503,000 hours.
Yeah,
actually just surpassed that this week.
Well, congratulations.
So thank you. I still need about 160 something subscribers and another 900 hours.
Yeah, which I'm sure, like, the hours is the easy one. I think it's really the sub mark, and to get people to to click on the sub part. And but that video still, like, it I want to say in April it was probably at like 40,000 views, or maybe like 35, or maybe even 30. I can't really remember. I know I have the stats somewhere, but it's still, I'm getting like 10 views, at least 10 views every couple of days on the video. So it's still being watched. It's still the odd subscriber coming from it. Still giving me a little bit of money from YouTube as well. But it was at 56,000 for almost 3 weeks, maybe even a month, about a week ago. And so
Okay.
it just jumped over to 50,000, 57,000 mark. Like
Okay.
just last week it did. So like it slowed considerably,
Oh yeah.
which is fine. But that was the moment in the video that kind of made, hey, this Uncanny Derek may be doing something that's cool. And like, don't ask me how it happened, but it happened.
I'm gonna guess you haven't really. Have you had any others that have come close to that level?
No. So I mean, we really deep dive right into it if you want. So that video I did a couple weeks ago that was 32 minutes long. I did that video with pretty much the expectation of replicating that last one. It was released around the same time, just under a month later. The thumbnails are very similar. The titles are very similar. When is the comic book market ruined to our comic book auction's a scam. The content, the video content itself with graphs and with the voiceover, I made sure the audio levels were similar. I really just tried to replicate the first video and release it using similar description, and not similar, but like the same idea of description in the video,
Right.
same type of hashtags. Just trying to say, can I do this again? And the answer is no. It doesn't matter. So the most recent video I did, where I went out of my way to spend the time and the effort to mimic my last video to redo the success, didn't work out. I'm okay with it. It's at like 12 or 1300 views,
Right.
but it's definitely a pale comparison to the thousands that the other one had within the first 24 hours. My next most viewed video, because when I started the channel, I also thought of keyword. Like I've always been an SEO nerd.
Okay.
So like my videos that are doing well are things that you type in the SEO. So like what's the difference between newsstand and direct edition?
Right.
What is CLZ is what we call it in Canada, the collector's app, CLZ,
Okay.
and cover price review. So those types of videos they started in like the double digit views back when I released them, and they stayed that way for over a year. And now they're my second most viewed videos, being like 5,000 or 6,000 views, because
Okay.
the algorithm has picked them up, and now they're being used as in Google search engine. So,
Okay.
try to replicate the success of that one genie in a bottle video. It doesn't do anything. Do what Google wants you to do and make videos based on what people are searching for. Just wait a year and then it will take off. So you play the long game, it works. But I'm not doing this for the money. It's just I'm doing it because I'm really nerdy about this stuff too.
Yeah, I think there's you can use, or I guess use Google's autocomplete
Mm-hmm.
when you type into something in the search. Like you start typing in a couple of words and you see what Google anticipates what you're searching for, and that generally tells you what's the most search topic or search phrase for that topic.
Yeah.
And so if you can then base your video around what uh, Google is anticipating your phrase to be, that's probably going to be great SEO content.
Yeah. And like that, again, wasn't like my plan. It just kind of worked out that way. I just, as I've always been having the blog, and also for work, I do a little bit of website mumbo jumbo.
Okay.
I've always kind of had that in the back of my mind, like, how will this get picked up by the algorithm? And then so that's always in the back of my head, whether consciously or not, to do when I release videos and when I release content, because it's not even just the title of the video; it's also the content of the video, what's being said. I know my voice is being recorded by or tracked by Google and being thrown in there too. So it's it's just patience.
Right.
If somebody's trying to get a successful YouTube channel, it's just be patient and it'll happen. I don't see myself as some sort of like brilliant guy who has all the answers, because I don't. I did strike gold once. Trying to replicate it has failed. I tried a couple times and they failed. And it's just, riding on the coattails right now of SEO, I guess.
Yeah, but you got you got a couple of videos under your belt that have or that are four-figure view videos.
Yeah,
In the thousands, which is I can be honest, I can tell you a lot of YouTubers would be happy, or a lot of comic book YouTubers would be happy with that.
sure.
Because we're not Comic Com or Mint Hunter or anything like that get like tens of thousands of views for videos on a regular basis. So if I get a video that goes over 500, I'm happy, and when they hit 1,000, I'm really happy.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the real thing is that you got to set your expectations, be realistic with your expectations,
Right.
because like my opinion, if I get any video over 100 views, then I consider that a win,
Yeah.
regardless of the content. Because if I stress out about, like, say for the one time I tried to actually copy a video that was successful, but if I try to stress out about view numbers and such, like, you'll just go crazy and you'll not be happy, and you'll it becomes a time sink to try and figure out the algorithm that will change on you anyway. So you can figure it out and say, I got it. But then next week, they'll change it up, and you'll never be satisfied, and you'll never be able to capture that, what you were doing before. So yeah, just be happy with what you're doing. And I did it all because I just wanted to share my excitement about comic books.
Yeah.
And so that's, as long as people are interested in watching what I have to say, then that's a win, regardless of how many views it gets.
Yeah. My first one that went technically viral for me, or other than the one where I got scammed, but the one here recently that it was my wife bought me a bunch of comic books off of Whatnot that I didn't know what they were. So it was an unboxing. The video is called "What is 35.5 pounds of comic books for $87?" Because that's how much she spent to get all the lots. And then I literally unboxed it all on. It was a 40-something minute video, but it's got me like 8,000 views and 1,000
Yeah.
hours of watch time. I tried. She bought me more comic book stuff or whatnot, and I tried to replicate it again about a month or two later. It didn't work like the first one did.
No, and like I did try to replicate like my year in review videos. I did a like top list. So my first videos was like like actually one of my first videos was my top 8 comic books in my collection, and or like unknown comic books in my collection, something like that. And it was like a crapshoot of different books. And that one got a couple thousand views right off the bat. And then I tried it again a few months later, and then nothing.
Right.
And then I did my top 10 views of my collection, and that did okay. And then I tried to do it again, like with a revised list, and then didn't do anything. And so I feel like there's something in the algorithm that says, you can't do the same thing twice, at least similar titles. But also, if you do it with an odd number, so you're 37.5 pounds and $87, like, that is weird enough that it's going to push it. And
Yeah.
I think I've found that when I did a few videos that did okay, but have like peaked, they don't get any more views. But I did one, my first essay video was more of a documentary style video, over 100,000 comic books found in a garage.
Right.
And, that was another video that did well for me. But it has been at 4.9 thousand views since its release. It hasn't been able to cross into 5,000, and it's been over a year and a bit. It just nobody's watching it anymore, which is fine. But like it's one of those things where like it just blew and then completely flat, like it stopped. And then I did another one with another 100,000 or something like that, 30,000 books or something like that. I can't remember. Found somewhere, and that did well. But if I try to do it again with those numbers, it's just they won't. YouTube will just wave their finger at me and tell me that that's not what they want anymore.
You know what might be an interesting experiment for you to try would be make a short about that 100,000 comics in a attic or garage, and release that short with a link to the full video and see if that sparks any interest on it. Or have you tried that?
So no, but I just started because I've taken a little bit of downtime, but I still want to create. I just started doing shorts as of late.
Right. Okay.
And so I just did one on Instagram last week that has peaked around 2,000 views on Instagram. Now, I uploaded the exact same one to YouTube on the exact same day, and it had, at the end of day 2 on YouTube as a short, it was 70 views. At the end of 2 days on Instagram, it was 2,000 views. At the end of day 3 on YouTube, it was over 1,000 views. So within like the 3-day period, for some reason, within only a 12-hour period, it took off and got 1,000 views on YouTube only. And that was it.
Okay.
I say that to say, the analytics for those shorts show me that nobody looked at my profile from those videos. So I had around 3,000 views, give or take, between the two mediums. And
Right.
in neither one of those did anybody check out my channel or my Instagram page from those views. So not to say that your suggestion isn't, like, it should be done, but it's just that little tidbit of information from this particular video. People liked it. There's thousands of views on both, but nobody went further than just watching it.
Okay.
So I just found that to be very interesting, because
Yeah.
it's like you think that you'd get a little bit more interaction or some subscribers from it, and no, nothing at all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have really any experience with shorts or reels or anything like that.
Same.
So I don't know exactly how to make them or anything like that. I don't know how to make them and make them compelling. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that with long form videos.
Sure.
So trying to condense it all into a 30-second video, a lot harder.
Oh, it's tough. And like I do shorts at work, so I have a little bit of experience with that. But
Okay.
even then, that's not, like, they're not viral. They're not, like, my buddy keeps saying to put it on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account. I'm not going to use TikTok. But they're like, that's how you're going to be successful. I'm like, I'm not really looking to be successful. I'm just trying to have fun.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm sure there's something to, TikTok is the biggest medium for all of this stuff. So, like, yeah, I should. I'm not, but I should.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it is the biggest for vertical consumption of content.
Yeah, and I
sure.
hate vertical consumption. I'm always just like, no, this is how it has to be filmed, everybody, okay?
Oh, yeah. So how did you find your niche in the comic book community, and has it evolved over time?
I'm still finding my niche.
Okay.
I think, because like my first video was an unboxing video, and the thing is that everybody does unboxing videos, and I still do the odd one too.
Right.
But the trick is to make them compelling and make it exciting for people. And I have had some unboxings that I haven't filmed because I'm like, I really don't want to like film every unboxing ever, because I may not be excited about it or not have much to say about it. So the niche is to be for myself is the other thing is that everybody else is doing it, right? So where's my mark? What's the thing that I can make exciting for people to want to watch me? And like I did one of my last someone unboxing, this Life with Archie here. That was the first appearance of Godzilla in North American comic books.
Okay.
So like I had a video about Godzilla and the history of Godzilla in comics, and then it brought me to the unboxing there because I'm a Godzilla fan. So that was something a little bit different than here's just me unboxing the book and let's talk about Godzilla and then call it a day. I have to do something more exciting because I'm excited about it. So why am I excited about it? Let me share it with you, and plan how to do it properly to do so. So my niche is just passion because my videos, my long form videos, the things that do well for me that aren't the SEO videos are the critique videos of graded books and of auction markets and of just the hobby as a whole. And I've been kind of exploring more the idea of, there's comic book collectors and there's comic book investors. Which one are you, right? So that's kind of where a lot of my thought is going when I do videos now. So if there's a niche, that's kind of what it is. And also thank you for not saying niche. Like it is niche. I'm trying to be crazy if you said it.
Well, I'm glad I got it right that time. Um, earlier, I had mentioned Legion of Comics. I think that might have been before we started recording.
Hmm.
But you really should check him out. Look him up. He is a huge Godzilla fan. Also, the whole Universal monsters or
Okay,
the whole Godzilla, King Kong. He is deep into it. So,
good.
I mean, y'all could probably have an hour conversation about it, record it, and nobody watch it, but y'all would have a great grand old time just watching and talking about Godzilla and Kong and all that stuff.
Oh, right on. Yeah, okay. I'll have to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Because he's got his kids into it and everything. They just love Godzilla and
That's the
Kong and all
dream.
that.
That's the dream.
um, so, what comic book content? Well, I mean, I guess we've talked about this a little bit already, but what content performs the best on your channel, and why do you think it is?
Yeah, so definitely the SEO based stuff, and again because of SEO related things. But to touch back on the that genie in a bottle moments, those what broke the comic book market or comic book auctions a scam. I have a few other videos that are like that, and I have noticed that controversial titles or titles that suggest negativity in them,
Drama,
yeah, they do well just by default, and it's not even so much the thumbnails. It really is the title of the video. And I look back, and what I do is I when I come up with different ideas for titles or thumbnails, I look at some of the content creators I like outside of the comic book world, and I'm talking like people who have like hundreds of thousands of views, and they do similar essay style content. And I go, how did they title this? And I could like, how did they make their thumbnail? What is the catch to this? And I've noticed there's a lot of simplicity in some of the thumbnails where it's just like a face, an arrow, and like one word saying like scam question mark, like that's it, or like loser, or like uh on fire, like anything like very simple, like little catches like that.
right?
And I've found those have been relatively successful. And I mean, relatively being, for my channel, my size, they get a few hundred, if not close to 1,000 or slightly more views. So those are kind of like my touch points, I suppose, in order when I'm trying to make new videos. Like, what did I do here? How can I improve on it better? And it's not so much the video content itself. It's like this is in post. What am I doing after the video's been made? I have my content. I know it. I'm excited to show it. So how can I sell it?
Right.
And I say I did shorts. I'm also in sales, and I do a lot of stuff at work. So I always am trying. How can I sell this video to people? What is the catch for people to want to click on this to want to watch it? Because I know I have my intro to my videos. Usually all my videos have the hey, how's it going, collectors, and then my intro song, and then I get into the video. So I have to have that grabber to keep people interested, to keep watching, and then go from there. But it also starts with them clicking on the video. So if I get the click, then I'm usually off to the races. But when you're in a sea of other comic book creator content, and it is a wide net comic book creator. Like, I didn't know how intense when I dove into this journey of YouTube. I had no idea how big and vast this whole community is, and they are like I'm gonna say 98% of them are wonderful human beings.
Yeah,
and it is just they're joys to talk to, and we can like we're not even talking comic books really here, but like we have a similar hobby, but this is fun so far. But like, what can I do to stand out from everybody else, but also make somebody excited that those other people want to click on my video too? Like, what if I have Joe Schmo on their YouTube channel who have like 10,000 views per video? Like, how can I get them to watch my video and maybe they'll share it? Who knows? So what can I do to be successful? And that's always going through my head when I'm making anything. I'm being a salesperson, but that's after the video is made.
Right. So do you? Where is it? So I guess the next question I got for you is, how do you balance what you love to talk about with what the algorithm wants? Or I mean, I guess.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. It's impossible because like if I worry too much about it, then I'm gonna not release content at all. And I mean that to say, like I have zero content on Absolute Batman or Dork, that those comic books that are hot right now. But
Right.
I have opinions on those. But I don't have time for it, and I can't keep up with because of my life. I can't keep up with what the market is. And when I started doing this video and I was telling my wife like, oh man, this just happened, just this happened, just this happened. She's just like, it's comic books. Why is it so busy? I'm like, you have no idea how crazy this market in this world is. And I could be making videos every day and still not have enough time to talk about everything I want to talk about.
Right.
So when it comes to balancing it all, I can't worry about it. And I mean, part of me was like for example, this Godzilla book again. There's no Godzilla movie out right now, but Minus Zero is coming out, Godzilla Minus Zero, and the Monarch series has come out, and
Right.
maybe there's a Godzilla movie in the works again with Lionsgate or whatever it is that's doing it.
Is it called Supernova or something like that?
Something like that. But
Yeah.
that the video I made isn't going to do well right off the bat. But if there's comic book fans and there's Godzilla fans, and they're going to look it up later on down the road, well, the content's there now. So, part of the whole idea with YouTube and with social media, what YouTube is, as many people don't like to admit it, is that you want immediate gratification. You want that video to go live, and you want 10,000 views right off the bat. You want to look at your phone and go like, yeah, I did it. YouTube, freaking, I crushed it. But that's not the reality.
Right.
And so content like that with the Godzilla, maybe that's going to take off after Godzilla Minus Zero comes out. Maybe it won't, but I'm not going to worry about it because it's going to do what it's going to do. And YouTube is good enough and Google is good enough to finagle videos that exist and make it happen. So again,
Right.
my CLZ collector's app video, like literally tens of views when I released it. It is now, I think it's my second most viewed video. I think we're like talking, I'll look it up right now. I think it's sort by most viewed. Yeah, so last I checked, it was at 6,000. It's at 6,300 views.
Okay.
So like, and then my second most viewed video is 6.1. How do you tell if your comic book is a second print or not? And so those videos, that was 2 years ago. The CLZ one was 1 year ago. And they were when I had no subscribers, no viewers. So the fact that they're now my second and third most viewed video implies, not just because they're SEO related, but it also implies that if you create content you enjoy, because I enjoyed making those videos,
Right.
and you just let it go and don't worry too much about what the algorithm's doing or how to make it successful. If your content is good enough, if it ticks the criteria of what makes you happy and also what makes Google happy in some respect,
Right.
then it should do all right. Like, did I go through that CLZ app and completely dominate the entire, like, did I go through it thoroughly enough? No, it's a 20 some odd minute video, but
Right.
could I have done a better job? Absolutely. In my comic books second print video, that was like my third or fourth video on YouTube. Like, the audio is crap, the video is crap. I look at it again and I cringe when I watch it, but it works, right? So it's one of those things that you just have to just let it go, let it just be at peace.
Yeah. It's. I mean, those are very much evergreen topics or titles that probably would get a lot of long tail viewers over a long period of time. Because, like, I've always questioned, how do you tell that whatever printing you have of like Transformers #1?
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
they all look the same to me as far as I can tell. So,
I could tell you right now.
sure, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So there's the direct edition, which has the Spider-Man head. There's
Right.
the newsstand edition that has the barcode. And then I picked up the Canadian price variant, which is the barcode version, but instead of 75 cents, it's at $1.
Right. Okay.
And so it's directly on the cover for those. But not all books are like that. But anyway.
Well, I guess I would gotta go in and figure out, because the second and third printing because there's multiple
Sure.
printings of that Transformers #1. So that's what I was.
Yeah, you gotta
Is
read the
that's in
inside.
Indicia?
Yes, that's
Or,
right.
okay.
Yeah, it'll say it in there.
All right. Yeah, I gotta go dig out that comic book from wherever it is at the moment. I have no idea. Got a couple of filing cabinets full of comics, so
Love to
gotta
hear
go
it.
check that out. Um, so on the algorithm, do you put a lot of thought into the thumbnail and the title to kind of help the algorithm? I mean, you're making the video that you want to make, but do you put a little bit more thought into your thumbnail and your title to kind of help the algorithm to pick
Yeah,
up the video?
yeah, and actually, one thing I try to do, like again, it is trying to sell the video. But one thing I usually do after a couple of weeks, like YouTube has their A/B testing with
Right.
titles,
Yeah.
and I have found that that has been pretty useless so far, because the few videos I have done it with that have been successful, they're pretty much like 33%, 33%, 33%. And it's like, they all were good. Great job, Derek. I'm like, oh, thanks, YouTube. So that doesn't help. And like the odd one that does do better, it's like, maybe 50%, and then you have like 25 and 25. Yeah. So like it's not too much of a difference. There's nothing that's so dramatically different that you go, okay, that gave me another idea. Like it's
Right.
all
Okay.
within that. So when it comes to the titles, again, it's a matter of making the content relevant to what you're talking about, of course. But I'll tweak it sometimes. So I'll release a video, and then within like, if you're watching a video of mine or a video that recently comes out, like refresh it every day or so, or go back to it, and you'll see the title maybe has changed a little bit. Because
Okay.
I'm a word nerd, and so I do find that sometimes tweaking the wording a little bit to make it not just grammatically correct, but also maybe capitalizing another word instead of the word that I originally used, just to make it pop a little bit more for the reader.
Right.
That may help, because again, it's not really something that I can tangibly prove, and the A/B testing doesn't give me enough data to tell me what one is more successful, because they all kind of are. Well, if I run the same title, like comic books are amazing, and I capitalize books and I capitalize amazing, in the two different titles, and run A/B tests on that, like it's not gonna. They'll both show up like 50%.
Yeah.
In YouTube, or like within that. So it's like, well, should I use the word books more, or should I use the word amazing more? Like, I don't know. That doesn't help me. So I'll tweak words after the A/B test, or I won't do the A/B test. I'll just tweak words and say, comic books are awesome, or books that'll blow you away. Like, I'll just tweak things like that and see how it performs within a 24-hour time frame, and
Right.
then I'll adjust it back to the original title if I feel it hasn't done anything. But I'll do that only for like the first few days.
One thing I've learned over the last couple months is not to repeat the same words in the title that you have on your thumbnail,
Yeah.
because that's basically you're wasting words, in my opinion. Because like
Department of Redundancy Department.
yeah, if you're repeating it, that's something that's something else you could have said in place of that, because you've already said it here. No need to say it here.
Yeah, and I definitely was guilty of doing that early on in my YouTube videos, and it was, nobody ever said it to me. It was kind of one of those like aha moments, like, wait a minute, why am I saying this twice? And
Yeah.
it's just one of those. I'm just doubling over, or tripping over myself. Like, yeah, it's weird things like that you don't think of when you start doing the channel, that you're like, oh yeah, that was a bad idea. Why didn't
Yeah.
anybody tell me to not do that?
Yeah. I think I was asking AI or the Google Ask Studio feature some insights or help, and that was one of the things that they suggested. I was like, when it suggested that, it made perfect sense to not waste the space, because you only have 100 characters for your title, and you only should use up to like 4 or 5 words at max on your thumbnail. So not doubling it up will waste those SEO opportunities that you would have.
Yeah, and I find a lot of people do use hashtags in their titles, and I'm not sure or confident how much that works.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I do use hashtags, but they're in the description.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll the hashtags will surface in the description well enough, and people don't search hashtags that much. I mean, on Google, or that's going to be more like long tail phrases or things like that.
Yeah, the descriptions now, I think hashtags are almost out the door. Like I just learned the other day, Instagram has cut their number of hashtags down to 5,
Yeah,
which was news to me as of like last week. So it's just one of those, oh, that's something like hashtags are out the window now. So it is really just, putting in descriptions of stuff. And, it is somewhat frustrating because you want to have unique descriptions, but, AI is still also like a lot of people just default to AI for these descriptions, and which I can understand, but, AI still has its own, like you can tell when something's AI.
right.
And it's like those descriptions aren't really that much better, but is that going to be, if I'm on YouTube and I have AI, if I have Gemini create a description versus say Chat GPT, will YouTube favor the Gemini founded AI description over the Chat GPT? I have no idea. I'm just gonna stay away from it all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know which one would be favored more than the other, but I can see where Gemini might have the edge since it's all part of the same company, and Gemini would have a better understanding of YouTube than say ChatGPT does.
For sure, yeah.
And like I can say, the way I found your blog post was because I took your your channel address and dropped it into Gemini, and it brought up uncannyderek.com.
I can't
So,
hide from Google.
which I don't know if it would have done that in ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, interesting.
That might be an experiment I might try
Just
later on.
check with everybody.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but I was like, because then I was wondering, did Gemini just hallucinate on me? Because I was like, well, what's this? I don't see anything on your YouTube page that says anything that's at the surface about a blog page.
Yeah.
And so, but then I like went and opened up the website and looked at it. I'm like, well, it says author, comic books, music fans. I think it might be the same guy.
It sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
But yeah, I was worried it was hallucinating on me there for a minute. So, um, so what mistakes did you make early on that you wish that somebody had warned you about?
One of the big ones, and actually I got it preloaded here on the screen, and it's not so much a mistake. It's just something that is so obvious now that anybody else would be like, oh, great idea. So I'm just going to hold up a comic book here. But whatever. This is one I just picked up recently. But you can see the glare of my computer monitor, right?
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people on YouTube, this is how they show their comic books. And it's like, there's a glare. What can I do? Guys, go into Paint, MS Paint if you want to. Do a complete black background, hit F11, and boom, the glare is gone. And if I just minimize it here, there's my monitor again. But, oh wow, the glare is gone. And so I thoroughly recommend just creating a black background and just leaving it on your desktop. So when you have that glare from your computer monitor, just pull up the black background and boom, get rid of the comic book glare on your books. And it works for the slabs too. It works for anything. That was the one thing, like a trick I picked up like a year after I started the video. I'm like, oh, this is a game changer, and nobody else does it. So
wow, okay.
That just blow your mind there.
A little bit. It's kind of like, duh.
Right? Yeah. Like just you don't want to turn your monitor off, but you can put some black background up there, and then the glare's gone.
Right, and if you got more than one monitor, you can always put the feed over to the side monitor, so if you can make sure that you're in frame. Because I was like, I mean, so that would work, but okay,
that's my biggest tip for anybody in the comic book world. Just black background, and then your glare is gone. Everybody, enjoy.
That's pretty good.
I just like any other stream that I'm on now. Like and they do it. I'm just like, I know what to fix. I know what you need to do. And like you tell somebody in their chat, like, hey, just put a black background on. They don't know what I'm telling them, but I'm like, just get in the paint and put it in black and just.
No, I mean, here's an idea for you. Make a video about that.
So I do have that planned. Yes.
I was like, that'd be a good. Like, I have a video that I need to do, telling people how to make. Or, do you ever do timestamps in any of your videos?
Yes.
How long does it take you to do that?
Well, I usually do them on scripted videos, so I know where they are, and it's really like 10 minutes, we'll say.
Well, what if I could cut that down to 15 seconds?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do is open up the Ask Studio feature in the YouTube Studio.
Okay.
And copy the link to your video.
Okay.
And then say, give me the timestamps for this video, and paste it in and hit enter.
Okay. All right.
And it will tell you the timestamps pretty much right on. You might need to go check it, but it's pretty solid. That'll be right where it needs to be. Like, I'll take this video, and it will break it down for all of our different questions. It'll have all that in there. And so you just put that into the description.
Okay, I will definitely have to do that. That's also a great tip. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, YouTube Studio or the Ask Studio feature doesn't even say that it can do that.
Well,
I mean, it says, well, we can't do that. Well, yes, you can. You just copy the link, drop it in, say, give me timestamps, and it's done.
Okay, very good.
go check it out. I mean, you can even take it back and go to your old videos.
Sure.
That you have out there that have been out there, and you can put the timestamps in there, and it might make it or help out the SEO part of it to where the heading or whatever might get searched and might.
Does it create the headings too, like the titles for the timestamps?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, that's probably worthwhile because I know that's one thing you struggle with too, is the timestamp titles.
Yeah, no, it'll do all that for you.
Okay. Yeah, I may actually do that.
Yeah, go check it out, man. It's right there. You know that little Gemini icon that's at the top of YouTube Studio?
Right.
Yeah, just go check that out. Give it a try.
Very good. All right.
You gave me a tip. I gave you a tip. So there we go.
Thank you.
So what is your process for planning and producing a video from idea to upload? Like, are most of your videos scripted or unscripted? Or, I know you're a writer. Because audience or viewers, if you didn't know, Derek does have a book on Amazon, I believe. Yeah. And you can purchase it off of UncannyDerek.com, maybe.
You can do that as well. I have copies. You can reach out to me, and I can sell them to you as well.
Right. Shameless plug for Derek.
There it is. Yeah, it does somewhat depend on the video itself. So like for the essay videos, they literally are essays. Like I write an essay out and then I read the essay. But other videos that I'll do, so let's say this Godzilla, I'll just keep referring to the Godzilla video. Okay. That one I knew of. I'm unboxing an Archie book, and I want to talk about Godzilla in that. Well, doing that is about 2 minutes, right? Like realistically, that's a 2-minute video, just doing the unboxing. And here's Godzilla's first appearance, and see you guys later. So it's how do you expand from that, and how do you grow the thought of that? And so, I was a fan of comic books, a fan of Godzilla, as a fan of collecting older books too. You take all those ideas and you go, well, how can I blow that up and make it a 10-minute video or longer? Right. And so the thought behind any video I have is you take your main theme and how can you expand it? Like what other exciting things can you learn about it? And so like again with that Godzilla book, well, the caveat is that that's North American comic books. Godzilla technically appeared in manga before that. So now I'm talking about manga and I'm talking about American comic books. So there's two separate topics in the same video. Then I'm talking about, well, is that technically the first Godzilla because he's not named in that? And then there's another video or comic magazine that comes out after it that he is named, but our magazine's comics, then you can start doing some speculation in there. Then there is a handout that comes out in a movie theater that is technically the first comic, but it's not, it's more of a handout and not really a true comic book form. Then there's the Marvel 1977 comic book or 76 comic book, 78, I can't remember. And that's the first Godzilla series. So you have all these different things to talk about with Godzilla. And that's not even going into the actual history of the books and the history of Godzilla and why each one has their own different, like, there's just so much to talk about. And so if you're passionate enough about it, like I am, you look at these topics and you go, well, I want to learn more. And then I think, how does this become teachable to somebody else? Because I want to share my stuff, but I also don't want to, like, I don't want to be condescending, of course, and I don't want to be gatekeeping. And I don't want to be a jerk about it at all. So it's like, how can I share this and be excited about this and make it entertaining for people as well? So all of my videos kind of have that general thought process behind it. If it's an unboxing or if it's, I learned something new, well, let's talk about, like, I have this one video that's I've been kicking around because I want to get the book still, but, you know, I have this idea of Canada's first horror comic book. And, one day I'm going to own the book, and I plan on hopefully maybe getting it this year. But I have a whole video about that. But turns out that the creator, like, it's a Canadian publisher, it's a Canadian horror book, but Matt Baker did work inside of it. And I don't know if you're familiar with Matt Baker. He's a golden age artist, but he's American, and that bleeds into, how did this American get work in a Canadian comic book? Well, he didn't. Turns out comic books were, Matt Baker was part of this entire manufacturing wing in America for creating comic books of the golden age, they would just draw and write stories and then sell them to publishers who just needed content for their books. And you can go down the rabbit hole who all those creators are, and it just kind of keeps going and going and going and going and going. And so it's exciting. And I'm excited about it because I love the history of comic books. I love the medium, the ideas that it has. And so it's, again, finding the topic and then what else can I share about this to make it more exciting. And usually, because comic books are there's so much history to it all, that there's just so much more to talk about if you just do a little bit of Google searching. If you look up any comic book at all, look at who the author is, look who the artist is, look who the inker, the writer, or the letterer, like any of those topics can just blow up the story of what you want to share even further. Because maybe the letterer for this is actually the letterer of a favorite comic book of yours in another universe entirely. Like maybe the letterer for this Marvel book lettered DC books, and now you can talk about the DC, and you can just keep going with a train of thought. It's like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or something, you know? And so long-winded answer to just be excited.
Now, do you, like, on your scripted videos, are you yourself on camera, or are they more voiceover videos, or a combination of both? Or
so I did a bit of both. So the big video that took off was not on camera. So I had my microphone there and just read the script. And just kind of stood still or sat still and just read the script so I could make sure the audio levels were the same the entire time. And then I did a couple other videos like that. Then I did one where I tried to splice, like I recorded myself reading the script. So it was right in front of me. So my computer monitor is right behind here. And I was reading the script like this, blah, 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 and I would go into splicing myself into the video. So I was able to kind of give myself more video content. So when I didn't have any video content, which is a good idea, if you didn't have any video content, you could just go back to me just reading the script. But I found it's harder to do because you have to, like, I'm making eye contact, so to speak, with the lens right now. But if I'm doing it now, reading off to the side there, and my eyes are going left to right, it becomes a little bit tougher to make the video look good. So I have a couple videos like that, and I'm okay with them, but that's my personal preference, and I'm probably being too particular for that. So I'm a bigger fan of having a voiceover. And what I have done on purpose last year when I went to any cons is I just walked around with my phone and just filmed video. And so I have a lot of personal stock footage that I can use now to just like throw into videos whenever I need to have footage that is comic book related, but may not be specific to what I'm actually talking about.
Right.
So I want to it may take more work with editing before that because I'm adding a new video in there to my editing program to make things work. But it makes me be more relaxed when I'm reading the script because it's hard to be animated and try to be reading an entire essay like this when I could just be like reading the essay like this, relaxed, taking breaks and doing whatever I need to do. So it's whatever you're most comfortable with. But yeah, it's yeah.
I was asking, do you know who, or have you ever watched the Still Only 35 Cents?
Yeah, Shane.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Dave.
So, Dave, sorry, I'm thinking of 1063. Yes. Dave,
yes. Okay. Well, 1063 is one of your fellow Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
Dave's from down under in Australia, but Dave does a lot of scripted videos. And I asked him when he was on this channel or this show, he has a teleprompter that he uses for his scripted videos.
I can see that. He's got the lighting there that could totally show he could have a teleprompter there and you wouldn't know because the lighting is so good in that room.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's smart, Dave.
He even sent me he got it off of Amazon or whatever. So I think he's $150 or something like that for the prompter. Sure. I know back last year in September, October time frame, I was trying to do I was doing a daily live stream that was about news. It was called Comic Issues Daily. And I had a script and all that, but I got called out a few times about, oh, you're reading the script because they could see that I was reading, even though I was trying to place the camera just at the right spot for where the script was. They could still see all the my eyes moving and stuff like that.
To be fair, so what?
Right. No, I mean, I was getting it out there, but
yeah,
I burned myself out a little bit on that one because it was like 3 hours of prep every day for a 15-minute video that wasn't getting a lot of traction. Doing this interview like with the Comic Channel Origins is a lot easier on me.
For sure. Yeah.
I ask the questions and you provide all the content.
So I'm here for.
Yeah, it's a great arrangement for me.
I'm okay with it.
So on the process, do you make your thumbnails and your titles before you make the video, or do you do the video first and then determine what's the best title and thumbnail for what you just created?
So most of my videos, the video goes first and then the thumbnail and title afterwards. But I will say many of my videos, though, are started from a title idea. And then I make the video, then the title changes dramatically. So I'll have an idea like, I don't know, like this particular comic book is crap. I don't know, like just something out there. And then I'll do the video on it. And then it'll be like, X-Men number 42 worst book ever. I'll change it out like that. So most of my videos start with a title, so to speak, and I expand it from there.
Okay. So how do you, next question I got for you is, how do you engage with your community, and has that changed as your channel has grown?
The answer is very poorly and always has been.
All right.
I'm just too busy of a person. I will respond to pretty much all comments on my channel, and I will post on Instagram throughout the week, like Monday to Friday, if I can. I really don't have any content coming up this week, but that's the extent of it. And I know that like you reach out to me to do this, which again, thank you very much. It's
Oh,
a
you're
lot of
welcome.
fun so far. And I'll have other people reach out to me, but I never do. I don't do live videos, but I never do the. I struggle with doing the reaching out to people and like, hey, you want to do this? Because I'm like, I'm not trying to be selfish, but just I'm a busy guy, and
Right.
it kind of comes off a little narcissistic, I guess. But
Well, I mean, you got two kids under the age of 3 right now, and a full time job and all that. So I mean,
yeah, I know excuses, right? No, it's tough because I would love to have more of a community to chat with and to be a part of. But yeah, it's as much as I love being part of the YouTube community, it is unfortunately a back burner to my life,
life. Yeah.
which is also fine because my life is when YouTube servers go down, my family's still here.
Right.
Yeah. So
Um,
I've always had a poor social media, well, decent social media presence, but like community presence, no, it's virtually non-existent, unfortunately.
okay. Um, so, well, the next question I got, we're going to get techie now. What type of tools, gear, um, or apps have made the biggest difference in your YouTube journey?
So again, MS Paint, just you have a black background. No, I only really have two things that I use. One is this webcam, and it's actually, guys, here's the secret. It's propped up on a box
Okay.
that's in front of my monitor. So like if you were to ask me to look at anything, um, like on my computer screen, I have to move my thing over there, and then I have to kind of like go around my webcam and my box right now to see what's on my monitor behind me
Okay.
because I just this I there's this distance here between me and my wall, like my desk here, is probably I'm going to say 3 feet, if that.
Okay.
So like I have no room for this chair to go back. So I don't have much room for gear. I can't put a ring light anywhere because I have a 32-inch monitor here, and I have a small 15-inch one to my side. So having the two monitors is great.
Right.
But save for that and having a little Yeti microphone here, that's the extent of it in terms of the physical gear. Now, you plugged my book, but you didn't plug my album. I'm a musician as well, and
Sorry. 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 I just saw this today. Didn't have a whole lot of time to dive deep into.
so I have an audio program called Reaper, which is like Pro Tools, but it's called Reaper. Just Pro Tools is the more popular, like GarageBand or something. You know,
Okay.
Cubase Reaper is what I use, and so I record all of my audio on Reaper, and then I have like plugins for that to make my voice sound better. I don't like use like reverb and stuff, but I just compress my voice better. And
Okay.
again, I'm a little bit of an audiophile or audiophile for that, so I do that as well. But then my actual video program editing, it is a garbage program, but I don't have time to learn anything else. It's called VideoPad Video Editor.
Okay.
It's you can get it for free for a trial. I think they're out of Australia actually,
Okay.
and I've paid for the version that I have. And actually, it's funny. My big video that is a comic book market view and the one ruined the one with 57,000 views. I actually had to get a new PC to get that video finished because VideoPad couldn't run on my PC. I had a 10-year-old rig at the time.
Okay.
VideoPad couldn't process the near hour-long video that I had made in order for me to publish it. So around the same time of me getting that video, I got a new computer. So that was a thing.
No,
But
thank God you didn't lose that footage.
no, I know that I would have cried heavily. I have a backup everywhere. I have multiple backups of everything.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's Reaper for audio, VideoPad for video. I'll use XSplit if I ever do any picture-in-picture stuff.
Okay.
But that's really it. Like it's webcam, a box, microphone, MS Paint, and those programs.
Have you ever used CapCut or Clipchamp? Or have you heard of
So
those?
I use InShot for the
Okay.
reels, which is free to use on. I have an Android phone, so I know it's free to use there, and just you watch an ad to be able to use it without any watermark on it. But yeah, I've used CapCut in the past, but I've used VideoPad over a decade ago, so it's just something I'm familiar with. It's not the greatest video editing software in the world, but it gets what I need to get done. So I'm not looking to make major motion pictures, or I know like. Right. Ryan the Colossus Collector, I know you had him on, and he has his amazing videos, and he's in the business for that, like quite literally. That's what he does. And I'll never, as much as I would love to make videos like that, I don't have the time nor I just don't have the time to learn it.
What I've learned about those two programs is that they have a text-based editor for the videos.
Right. Okay.
So you can do it can do the transcript for the video, and then you can go in and find phrases or stuff that you want to cut and just highlight the wording that you want to delete and hit delete, and it cuts it.
Well, that's the dream.
So in both of those, do that in the free version of the software.
Okay. So. Well, and I also use Photoshop. I use it for my thumbnails. Okay. I use CS3, so it's like from 2004 or something. I had this version of Photoshop for 20 years, but again, I don't want to pay a subscription for it, so it works fine.
Yeah, I use the free version of Canva.
Yeah.
So for my thumbnails,
I'll use stuff is fine.
Yeah, I use Photo Room as another website I use, and that's what I use to take the background off of the items that I take a picture of to put into my thumbnails.
Sure. Why don't you just paint your walls green and then just cross it?
Yeah, I mean, that's another idea. That's another way I could go.
I don't even use the crop stuff. Like, that's the thing. Like, I just like the color green. This has nothing to do with any sort of video.
And so, in your camera, it's just like a Logitech webcam that you use? Something like that?
eMeet, I don't, it's probably, it's some cheap camera. Yeah, like if anything, I should upgrade this stuff, but it's working fine for me. So it's 1080p. That's all I can ask for, right? So, and then
once you start making thousands of dollars with YouTube, you can upgrade.
Maybe. I mean, I gotta buy comic books, right? So
right. So the last question I got for you is, what advice would you give to someone that was wanting to start a comic book YouTube channel today?
Yeah, it's really two things. One is what I have talked about before, is like, if you're passionate about it, talk about it. Because it is really important to enjoy what you're doing. And I mean, that goes for anything in life, like whether it's your job or it's your friends. Like if you're passionate about these things, keep pursuing it. And that's really what I did, and that's what I'm still doing. I'm passionate about comic books. I'm passionate about the history of comic books, about how they're made, about the storied history of the characters, of both the fictional characters and the people who created them.
Right.
So I'm just always into that, and I'm passionate about expressing that. But on the flip side of things too, you also want to, oh man, what was the other point? What was the question again? Something to pass on.
What advice would you give to someone starting a comic book YouTube channel today?
Okay. So if you want to be successful, and this is me saying this, and I'm not really like, you have to define your success is what I'm trying to say. Right. Because successful to you can be success different to me. And I'm comfortable. Like, people look at my channel and they go, oh, wow, Derek, you're almost at 1,400 subscribers. Like, that's amazing. And yeah, it is. I don't care. Like, it's nice that I have those subscribers, but I just enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And you want to be able to find your niche again, to be able to express yourself if you want to stand out a little differently. So, like, again, my one video brought me most of my subscribers. I haven't been able to gain that much more subscribers from any other video. So, like, my niche, so to speak, were these essay videos, but that's not really what I'm doing on YouTube all the time. I'll do the odd one, but that's not what I'm here for. When I get passionate about a subject, I'll do an essay video about it, but that's not my thing. So I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, being happy in it while doing it. And so, yeah, I can start going to loops talking about this.
I would also say just be authentic. Would be my thought there. Be authentic. Like mean, be tied in with passion for comic books, but like if you don't know who the artist is or the writer of that particular comic book, but you just like the book, don't fake it and make it seem like you know who it is, because there are those YouTubers that know everything about the book and have learned it, and they know it. And if you don't try to fake it.
Yeah, that's it. There is. I guess that goes to another point is that like there is definitely gatekeeping in comic books, and there's also a lot of mean people on the internet, and
You don't say.
so I have my next video that I have coming out that I've been casually working on is actually addressing the negative comments on my videos in a
Okay.
video. So I'm just gonna shake the hornet's nest a little bit, but it's the internet and it's not real life, and don't let a few words of discouragement stop you from doing what you want to do. If you don't know everything too, like I don't know everything, and
Right.
I can school some people with X-Men, but I know I can be schooled as well, and I'm totally open to being schooled. So it's just everybody will know something better, especially when it's on the internet. Like you have somebody that if I make a video, there's one time I made a video and I can't remember the topic, but I got a comment on my video like telling me more about it was a CGC video. When I broke open the slab, I cracked open a slab for it, and I did the unboxing. I had a tripod. That's another thing for your phone. That's another thing you need to have.
Okay.
So I did a video where I filmed me opening up the CGC case, and then I opened up the book, and there was a piece of paper inside the book. Now, I have never opened a slab before. It was my first time doing it, and I just did it with full confidence and just, let's just do it, and I made a video. It's a video that's one of those things that are slowly taking off, too, because it's how to open a CGC slab.
Right.
But in the comments of the video, I was told that piece of paper, it's like a microfiber paper that helps with the oxidization of the pages. And I didn't know that. And in the video, I just dismissed it. I'm like, oh, what's this piece of paper? It's just one, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know. And I got told what it was nicely in the comments. But it's one of those things where, you have to set your pride aside, because some people can take comments like that and just go, oh, I would have said that, but, I just didn't want to make the video longer than it already, like, no, it's okay to not know things and to be wrong, or swallow your pride. It's just the internet.
Yeah. If I've started now, like if I get negative comments, I'll just say, well, thank you for watching. You've helped the algorithm, so thank you.
Exactly. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls.
All right. So that was all the questions I got for you. What do you have coming up on the Uncanny Derek YouTube channel? Or when do you think the next video might be dropping?
Oh, so whenever I can get around to editing.
Okay.
So like maybe in a week or so, maybe, but it's gonna be like it is the negative comment video. Actually, that I recorded it a week ago, and it's just been kind of sitting. It's going to be about 20-ish minutes, I think.
Okay.
And I edited the first 5, and it's just been sitting there. I haven't been able to get to it, but I have a whole laundry list of videos to make. Like there's probably like 30 topics, and it's just whenever I can sit down to actually do it, that's when I'm going to do it. So I'm taking it pretty easy till probably the end of summer, maybe, but I'll still be creating content, still be doing shorts, but there's nothing really in the bag that's going to be coming out anytime soon that's going to knock anybody's socks off, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. One thing I've learned over the last couple of weeks, like I think my viewer or my average view duration is about 30% of my videos. I don't know if that's the same for you, but it's like I know if I can do a 18-minute video, 18 to 20 minutes, then that's about 6 minutes that I get watched. So that does actually help the watch time hours in general go up pretty quick. So.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what my percentage is exactly, but because it does, I have some videos that just tank, and some that do okay. So it is what it is.
You're right.
As long as you're happy with it, then.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, like I've noticed that my average is around 30%. But like a 30% of a 6 or 8 minute video will be like 2 minutes or less. So it's like if you if you're for anybody that's trying to actually grow their watch time, make slightly longer videos.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is that is of good content.
yeah. I know YouTube definitely prefers longer videos, and like anything more than I honestly want to say it's more than 20 minutes is what they're preferring now. But I can't say that with 100% certainty. But I
Right.
find videos that are less than 10 minutes do not perform well generally, unless it's something really salacious.
Yeah. I know that they want or they like 8 minutes or longer just because then they can stick a mid roll ad in there if they want to.
Which those are getting a little ridiculous, aren't they?
Yeah.
In terms of length. Here's
Oh
your
yeah.
30-minute mid roll.
All right. And what I got coming up is I don't know exactly who my next guest will be on Comic Channel Origins after Derek here, but I will be getting somebody lined up for the Sunday after, and that'll be at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Stay tuned. It might be a group chat or a group video with a couple people. Who knows? But I do have some other videos that I'm going to be getting put out um, or recorded and put out for everybody to see coming up. Derek, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Uh, look forward to talking to you again in the future. Always love to talk about YouTube and how to all the magic and workings on the backside of it. That sounded really weird, but no,
I know what you meant.
yeah. But yeah, look forward to talking to you again in the future. And with all that being said, I hope all of your issues are comics, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, bye everybody.
Thanks so much.